1.3 million. 1.3 million is the number of lives lost last year in the world due to vehicle collisions. 40,100 is the number of lives lost in the United States year-end 2017. And the tens upon tens upon tens of millions are the number of people who thankfully survived a collision, but for whose lives have been forever changed. 500 billion is the dollar figure estimated in the United States alone for the cost of collisions as it relates to life. The industry that we are in is riddled with numbers like that. But here's a really cool number to share with you. 0. 0 is the number of deaths in commercial aviation worldwide year 2017. There wasn't a crash. There wasn't an accident. Nothing happened but perfection. And 0 people lost their lives. When Aaron and I started talking about this, I began to point out to Aaron that the world that we're in, this room right here today, is born out of a belief that everything in a vehicle is a feature. And we sell vehicles by feature. The OEMs sell vehicles by feature. And safety for the OEM space is a feature. But yet none of you would sit in this room and choose a flight because one plane is safer than another. It is anathema to all of us to think about sitting in front of American Airlines, Delta Airlines, and saying exactly what plane. Oh, you know, that Boeing is way more safe than that Lear, than that Lockheed. No, it's anathema to us. And yet we live, breathe, and accept that in the world that we operate today. The rest of my time today, I want to bring to your attention a call to action. And that call to action is born out of every talk you just heard that preceded me. We are moving rapidly to a world where the human being may, 1, not own the vehicle, and 2, may not ever drive the vehicle. It is coming. Many of you who have spoken to me or have heard me speak have walked away feeling paranoia or fear. And there's a little bit to be said for that. But that world is actually a very interesting world, and a world that you can live in and survive in. How do I know this? Because there is a rich, wonderful, economically viable, phenomenally interesting world of third-party parts and third-party stroke independent repair in aviation. The world of aviation provides for us a roadmap for how we, this industry, can deliver the message of safety, can ensure economic viability for big and small, and can support in an open way third-party independence. The question is, will we or can we actually make that happen? So the call to action is the industry of independent repair should begin to study deeply the aviation industry. Everything that has happened to deliver 0 death in aviation in the year 2017 is embodied in law. Everything. It was a model born out of the US, adopted then by Europe, spread to Asia, and is now a worldwide standard. For those of you who watch and read the news and see about collisions or crashes in other locations, you will noticeably see NTSB dispatched to location. The U.S. dispatches the National Transportation Safety Board to any and every accident for aviation anywhere in the world. so that they can better understand it, and they can better come back to it. For those of you who participate in and watch the news, you will have inevitably seen the Uber collision with a pedestrian in March of 2018. Elaine Hoxton, 43 years old, mother, wife, killed. To this day, we do not know exactly what happened. We are still waiting for the NTSB report. To this day, we do not understand fully how we learned from that. To this day, we are still left to wonder why. In that same month, Southwest Airlines, unfortunately, an engine failure of the most significant kind, caused steel to penetrate the hull, caused a hull breach, caused a passenger to be sucked out. Due to the extensive loss of injuries and blood, she died and could not be revived. Within 24 hours of that incident, all Southwest planes with the particular engine type had been inspected. Within 48 hours, all US-based flights with that engine type had been inspected. Within 72 hours, all planes worldwide with that engine type had been inspected. We are 8 months after the Uber collision, and we are still wondering why. If you want to change your fear, your uncertainty, your, oh my Lord, I do not understand the future, or I am afraid of the future, into a healthy paranoia, I encourage you to work with Aaron and the board of SCRS to actually take action and begin to understand, well, what is actually happening in aviation that would apply here? Last week, my team had the pleasure of being in Detroit for the Autonomous Vehicle Legal Summit. And we can tell you with certainty, an absolute certainty, they are not thinking of third-party or independent repair. They are thinking about collision, and they are thinking about how do they handle collision in a world of AV. The insurance is being handled, liability is being handled, ownership is being handled, return to service is being handled. But it's being handled in the very traditional way that the OEM model has always handled it, which is how do we do it? If you love repair, if you believe that the independent repair shop is in fact a necessary component of consumer choice, if you believe that it is important to leave a legacy for your children and your children's children, then the time to take action is today. The time to actually sit down and begin to say, what is it about aviation that they have done and codified to make this happen? Because when you start to contemplate this, you're going to see that they have all the same things as you do. They have all the same constructs as you do. They have all the same ideas and technology as you do. Yes, their product flies. That's it. But everything else is the same. And the more that we in this industry can learn about that, the more that we can adopt that, the more that we can integrate that, the better it will be for consumers, the better it will be for economies, the better it will be for all in the world. 40,100 were the lives lost last year. 0 in aviation. My closing request to you is, can we, this industry, come together and begin to formulate a posture, a plan, and an implementation that brings us closer to the world of aviation while respecting that which makes independent repair of vehicles so unique and special? Thank you so very much.